The storm before the calm. Teddy swims in the Kelly Clarkson show meltdown. Chapter 1. The Rising Star and the Daytime Queen. In the glittering haze of Los Angeles' entertainment machine, where dreams are packaged in 22-minute segments and sold to the masses over morning coffee, Teddy Swims was on the cusp of something monumental. Born Jaden Dimsdale in 1992 in Atlanta, Georgia, Teddy had clawed his way from the humid backrooms of indie gigs to the pinnacle of pop soul. His voice, a gravelly, soul-shredding blend of R&B fire and country twang, had first caught fire on YouTube with covers of Michael Jackson's Rock With You and Shania Twain's You're Still the One. But it was Lose Control, his 2023 breakout single, that shattered records, topping the Billboard Hot 100 and earning him a Best New Artist nod at the 2025 Grammys. By November 2025, Teddy wasn't just a singer, he was a phenomenon, a tattooed teddy bear with a falsetto that could melt steel and lyrics that dissected heartbreak like a surgeon. Across town, Kelly Clarkson reigned supreme in the daytime TV empire. The original, American Idol, champ had evolved into a talk show titan since the Kelly Clarkson Show debuted in 2019. With her Texas-bred wit, powerhouse pipes, and unfiltered charm, Kelly had built a fortress of authenticity. She didn't just interview stars, she communed with them, turning segments into therapy sessions laced with laughter and impromptu duets. But beneath the warm lighting and applause signs, Kelly was a force, fiercely protective of her platform, quick to call out inauthenticity, and unafraid to pivot from bubbly host to brutal truth teller. Her show averaged 2.5 million viewers daily, a blend of celebrity fluff and raw emotional deep dives that kept America hooked. It was the perfect storm waiting to brew. Teddy's team had booked him for the November 2, 2025, episode, fresh off a sold-out Madison Square Garden run. The pitch, a casual chat about his Grammy buzz, a performance of his new single, Hammer to the Heart, and maybe a Kelly-Teddy mashup of Since You Been Gone and Bad Habits. What could go wrong? Everything, as it turned out. Chapter 2. Backstage Whispers and Hidden Tensions. The morning of the taping dawned crisp and clear, the kind of LA fall day that tricked you into forgetting wildfires loomed on the horizon. Teddy arrived at the CBS lot in a blacked-out Escalade, his signature oversized shades hiding eyes ringed with last night's exhaustion. At 33, he carried the weight of his journey like a badge, the years busking in Atlanta dive bars, the near-miss record deals that fizzled, the pandemic pivot to TikTok virality that saved his career. But success had its shadows. Rumors swirled in the trades, Teddy clashing with producers over creative control for his sophomore album, whispers of label pressure to soften his edge for radio play. He was raw, unpolished, and proud of it, but the industry machine was grinding him down. Backstage, Kelly was in full prep mode, her dressing room a whirlwind of stylists and coffee runs. At 43, she was at the height of her post-divorce renaissance, her 2024 album Chemistry still charting, her show renewed through 2027. But Kelly had her own scars. A bitter split from ex-Brandon Blackstock, custody battles that bled into the headlines, and a growing frustration with manufactured celebs who ghost-wrote their truths. She'd heard the buzz about Teddy. His authenticity was legendary, but so were stories of his temper on set. I love his voice, she told her producer off mic, sipping from a mug that read, Boss Witch. But if he pulls that brooding artist crap, I'm calling it out. This ain't the voice, it's real talk. As Teddy settled into the green room, flipping through cue cards, a junior producer, eager beaver type named Mia, slid in with a last-minute script tweak. Kelly wants to dive deeper into your lose control inspiration, Mia said, her smile too bright. She heard it was about a toxic ex, but we thought it'd be fun to tie it to your Atlanta roots, maybe a story about your first heartbreak. Teddy's jaw tightened. The truth was darker. Lose Control was born from a brutal breakup amid his label's meddling, the kind that left him questioning if fame was worth the soul suck. He'd shared snippets in Rolling Stone, but only on his terms. Nah, he muttered, handing back the card. Keep it light, music first. Mia nodded, but the seed was planted. Whispers flew. Teddy's, difficult, Kelly's, pushing boundaries. By the time the stage lights flared, the air crackled with unspoken static. Chapter 3. The performance that set the spark. The audience, 300 Midwestern transplants in sensible cardigans and wide-eyed millennials erupted as Kelly bounded on stage in an emerald green blazer that hugged her curves like a hug from an old friend. Welcome to a brand new Kelly Clarkson show. We've got music, mimosas, and maybe a little mischief today. Her laugh was infectious, the band kicking into an uptempo groove behind her. Then, Teddy. He strode out in ripped jeans, a vintage tee-sleeves, tattooed arms flexing under the spots. The crowd whooped. His fanbase, the swimmers, had flooded the tickets. Kelly enveloped him in a bear hug, her perfume, something floral and fierce, lingering. Teddy swims, everybody. Man, your voice is like if Otis Redding and Ed Sheeran had a love child who ate hot sauce for breakfast. They bantered easy at first. Teddy cracked jokes about his mustache, it's my emotional support animal. Kelly shared a story about butchering a soul cover at karaoke. Then came the performance. Backed by Kelly's house band, Teddy launched into Hammer to the Heart, his new track, a pulsating anthem about breaking free from chains, literal and figurative. His voice soared, raspy lows giving way to stratospheric highs, the studio vibrating with raw power. Kelly swayed in her seat, eyes closed, lost in it. The audience was on its feet, phones aloft, capturing the magic. For 3 minutes, it was pure alchemy. As the final note hung in the air like smoke, Kelly leapt up for a standing ovation. Holy hell, Teddy, that gave me chills. You're not human, you're a vibe machine. The applause thundered. Back at the couch, mic's hot, Kelly leaned in, her eyes sparkling with that signature mischief. All right, spill, what's the story behind that fire? I mean, Hammer to the Heart, is this about smashing through some industry BS, or just a bad date with a girl who ghosted you? Teddy chuckled, wiping sweat from his brow. A bit of both, honestly. It's about taking back control when the world's trying to script your life. Chapter 4. The simmer turns to boil. The pivot was subtle at first, like a pot left too long on the stove. Kelly, ever the empath, nodded knowingly. I feel that, girl, after my divorce. I was like, screw the narrative, I'm writing my own damn book. The audience awed, relating to her tabloid-fueled transparency. But Kelly wasn't done. She flipped a cue card, her voice dropping conspiratorially. Speaking of narratives, I read this Variety piece last week. They said your label's pushing you to pop ify, your sound, less soul, more synths. Like, are you fighting that? Is lose control, the last rebel yell before you go full Disney? The room hushed. Teddy's smile faltered, his fingers drumming the couch arm. It was the tweak from Mia, amplified. Whoa, Kelly, that's direct. Yeah, there's pressure. Labels want hits, not headaches. But I'm not bending. My music's me, tattoos, cheers, and all. Kelly pressed, her brow furrowing. In that, I'm just keeping it real way. But come on, Teddy. We've all bent a little. I mean, American Idol. They polished me like a diamond in the rough. And look, I survived. Isn't some compromise worth the reach? Your fans love the raw you, but radio. They eat that polished crap up. It landed like a slap. Teddy's eyes narrowed, the easy charm evaporating. The audience shifted uncomfortably, sensing the shift. Compromise. Kelly, with all due respect, you won Idol, the ultimate polish machine, and turned it into gold. I scrapped for years without that net. Bending feels like breaking to me. And honestly, scripting my trauma for your segment. That's not real talk. That's clickbait. Kelly blinked, caught off guard. Her laugh was forced now, a reflex. Whoa, scripting, honey, this is live TV, we're just vibing. But if you're calling me out for caring too much, fine. I've had guests storm off for less polish than that. Chapter 5. The explosion and the exit. The air thickened, the band silent, the audience frozen in that delicious awkwardness daytime thrives on. Teddy leaned forward, his Georgia drawl sharpening to a blade. Caring, or prying for ratings. I came here to sing, not spill my guts on demand. You wanna talk authenticity? Try booking artists without rewriting their stories backstage. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Kelly's face flushed. Anger. Hurt. Both. She was no stranger to clapbacks. Her Twitter feuds were legend. But this, on stage, raw and unedited. Teddy, if you can't handle a real conversation, maybe stick to lip syncing on TikTok. This show's about heart, not hiding. That was the match to the gasoline. Teddy shot to his feet, mic in hand like a gauntlet thrown. Heart, your heart's in the ads between segments. I'm out. Before this turns into your next iconic moment, reel. He tossed the mic onto the couch, not hard, but with finality, and stormed toward the wings. The audience erupted in a mix of boos, cheers, and stunned silence. Kelly sat there, mouth agape, then recovered with a shaky laugh. Well, that escalated. We'll be right back, folks. Somebody get me a tequila. Backstage, chaos reigned. Producers swarmed Teddy as he grabbed his jacket from the green room, Mia trailing apologies. Teddy, wait, Kelly didn't mean, but he was already through the exit, paparazzi flashes exploding like fireworks outside the gate. He slid into his Escalade, slamming the door as his manager fired off texts. What the hell happened? Teddy exhaled, staring at the dashboard. Rage cooled to regret, then resolve. Call the label, he said quietly. Tell them the album's staying raw. No compromises. Chapter 6. The Aftermath and the Echoes. By afternoon, hashtag Teddy vs Kelly trended worldwide, X, formerly Twitter, ablaze with clips, grainy fan vids of the walk-off racking up 50 million views. TMZ broke it first. Teddy swims bolts Kelly Clarkson set in epic tirade. Headlines spun wild. Authenticity clash or ego explosion. Fans divided. Swimmers hailed Teddy as a truth bomber. Clarkson loyalists called him ungrateful diva. Late-night hosts pounced. Jimmy Fallon reenacted the mic toss with a plush teddy bear. Colbert quipped, finally, a confrontation with actual swims, not just tears. Kelly addressed it that night on her show, post-commercial break, voice steady but eyes misty. Look, Teddy's a talent, and yeah, I pushed. But real talk, we all bruise easy in this biz. If he's watching, love you, mean it. Doors open. It was classic Kelly. Vulnerable, villain-free. Ratings spiked 40%, her highest since the Brandon tell-all. For Teddy, the fallout was a Phoenix moment. His team spun it into a promo blitz. Unfiltered, the real Teddy swims, and, hammer to the heart, surged to #1 on Spotify. He dropped a raw X thread days later. Sorry if I hurt feelings, but art ain't assembly line. Grateful for the stage, even if I bounced early. Let's keep it soulful, y'all. Heart. It garnered 10 million likes, humanizing the storm. Months later, at the Grammys, they crossed paths, awkward waves across the aisle, no duet. But whispers of reconciliation buzzed. A joint podcast, maybe. Or just two warriors, scarred but standing, in a town that devours the weak. In the end, the confrontation wasn't the end, it was a mirror. For Teddy, a reminder to guard his fire. For Kelly, a nudge to temper her truth with timing. And for us watchers, a long, messy reminder that even stars bleed real when the lights go up. Fade to black.